Hey, hello everyone and welcome back to Paranormal Time. Today's video is all about the paranormal. Whether you are a believer or skeptic, there is no denying that the idea of ghost spirits and other supernatural entities has captivated people for centuries. In this video, we'll be searching some of the most compelling evidence for paranormal activity and sharing some of the most chilling stories about ghostly encounters and discussing some of the most popular theories about what lies beyond our realm of understanding. So turn off the light, grab a blanket, and get ready to explore the mysterious and often terrifying world of the paranormal time. Let's get started. Today I'm going to tell a story about a night of horror. First, an apology if you see any mistakes. The incident that I am about to reveal took place when I was pursuing my studies in Canada at a certain college, at a small city with less population. It was during my final semester of master's program at the university and I had only a month left for my thesis defense and graduation. During the last few months, I was loaded with thesis corrections and sometimes I even stayed back for the entire night in the department of office room. Working on the corrections, as a graduate student, I stayed at the university graduate housing on my own. The graduate housing took 20 minutes by walk from my department. I usually walked back home after finishing my work. One afternoon, I was busy working as usual on my thesis corrections. It was during the late December of 2013, and the university was closed for winter break. I was alone at the department working. Even at my graduate housing, the majority of the students had gone home and only very few of them remained scattered on different floors of the 9-story housing buildings. Since I was alone at the department, I was getting bored and was unable to focus on my work, but I forced myself to continue. Around 8:30 p.m. in the evening, I headed out for dinner. Since the university cafeteria was closed, so I bought dinner from a nearby restaurant. It was freezing cold, but I enjoyed my walk. Reaching the restaurant, I found out it was closed too and would remain so till January 2nd as the staff was on leave. I was starving on that cold evening and was a little disappointed to find the restaurant closed. I decided to call it a night and go back to my apartment since I could not continue working on the empty stomach. I went back to my office to collect few things and then started walking back home. It was clear night and the moonlight lit up my path. The entire campus was silent and only my footsteps in the snow could be heard. The snow was thick and it was difficult to keep up my pace. The only thought in my mind was having hot corn soup with sandwich. I had all the ingredients ready at home and I smiled to myself and I tried to walking fast. Suddenly my pleasant thoughts were interrupted by another pair of footsteps behind me. The very first thought that ran through my head was a robber. It was common to rob someone on silent night like that. I turned around and saw no one. I had anxiety issues back then, so any uncomfortable situation made my heart beat fast and my body simply froze. I turned around and started walking faster, trying to outrun whoever was following me. I did not hear footsteps, but I heard heavy breathing after a while. The sound was similar to that of a dog when it breathes through its mouth, only it sounded abnormally louder as compared to a domestic dog. I turned around again and saw no one. If it's a dog, then there's nothing to fear, but why was it hiding? I said to myself. I stopped and glanced around through the bare of trees with my heart still beating fast. I could not spot the animal, but just before I was about to start walking, I heard a growl. The growl did not sound like a regular dog. It was very harsh, loud, and abnormal. I looked around again and this time I spotted the silhouette of a huge man standing on the road at some distance behind me. He walked closer until he was few feet away from me and I could now see his feature clearly in the bright moonlight. He had tattered clothes on his body and was very muscular, but covered with thick black fur. His arms were long and clawed and feet were abnormally big. His face was distorted and wrinkled and mostly covered with fur. His mouth was slightly opened and his long canines were visible. His eyes were lit up in the moonlight just like dogs' eyes do at night. I could not believe my eyes and I stopped perfectly stiff on my spot. I do not know how long I stood there before I heard another loud growl from the monster. It seemed that the growl brought me back to my consciousness from the frozen state. I screamed and started running. I did not look back to see if the monster was following me or not. All I tried was to force myself to run faster and reach my place. I tripped several times while running on the snow and I sweated profusely. The thought of the beast chasing me made me scream over again. It was an empty campus. No one came for help. I would say that I had been very lucky to reach home unharmed. My apartment was on the 8th floor and I did not wait to take to the slow elevator. The night guard came running for help and I asked what had happened. But all I could scream was, "Hide! Go, go!" And then I ran up the stairs. When I reached my floor, I could barely stand. I could not feel my legs and I was panting for breath. The door to my apartment was there and I gathered every bit of my remaining strength to reach and unlock it. I collapsed on my apartment floor and lay on my stomach. I pushed the door behind me with my leg to lock it. I could hardly breathe. My chest swelled to take in as much air as it could. My heart was beating abnormally fast. My body felt numb and vision blurry. I lied on the floor and wait with sweat and half conscious. I do not know when I fell asleep, but when I opened my eyes, I heard someone knocking my door. It was a bright morning and probably the sound of the knock awakened me. I got up and opened the door and there were 2 policemen and a night guard. The inspector said that the night guard had reported my case with the police in the morning and they had come to inquire. As soon as I recalled the incident, shivers ran down my spine. The policeman calmed me down and made me to sit on the couch and asked me to narrate the incident. I explained in details what I saw. It was werewolf, a werewolf, I stammered. No such things exist, miss. Please be more original, the police officer said. It was one. Believe me, at least it closely resembles one. I continued, I knew it. I would be hard to convince them for the real sighting and decided to give in to their demand of an original description. Probably it was someone wearing a mask and playing a prank on a silent night. Or it could be a masked robber. Such werewolf masks are available in the country. I concluded the police felt the incident as a masked robber. After the policeman left, I rang up my friend and who lived nearby. She asked me to spend the rest of the holiday at her place and she drove to pick me up. And that afternoon, before leaving, I requested the night guard not to leave the building as the danger was still lurking. He gently took my advice. It was 3 hours drive to her place. On the interway, we tried to analyze the incident but we could not come to any conclusion whether it was really a werewolf or a masked robber and why it did not chase me. That night, my friend did not believe in the existence of paranormal creatures, but in any case, it posed danger and campus. She assured me that the police would find out whatever it was and that I was lucky that night. Days passed and college reopened. I never heard anyone else reporting on similar sightings or the policeman tracking any suspects. I never stayed back late on campus ever again. I graduated and returned home and did not speak about the incident to anyone. No matter what the policeman or my friend described the incident as, I still believe that what I saw was not a masked man. The growl still pierces on my ears when I remember it and no human could make such a sound. The brightly lit eyes of that creature affirm that it was a beast and that night still haunts me. So there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the mysterious and often terrifying world of the paranormal time. Whether you are a believer or skeptic, there is no denying the enduring fascination that people have with ghost spirits and other supernatural entities. We hope you enjoyed this video and that it has left you with some insights and perspective on this intriguing topic. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Until then, stay healthy, stay tuned. See you in the next episode. Good night.